from all around. So you got to be able to have your head on a swivel, and you got to pick your fights perfectly. Now we're going to watch Tianba. Tianba, they did disrupt Deep Laskia. They got 4 eliminations so far, and they are still in the blue zone. This is stage 3. It's starting to hurt a little bit, but it looks like they're going all the way around this shoreline towards the edge. But now we're starting to see teams get a little bit antsy here. When you're at this stage, too much time, you feel like you got to start moving, and TJB is looking to try to pick off some of these Vampire players. Maybe not. Second thoughts.
Vampire trying to push in around the south side of Quarry. They have been moving across for quite a while now. They tried to move up towards TJB's position, but it was Besiktas Black who were able to take the shots and stop them from doing that. Vampire now on 3 players, but they have got their foot in the door, right? They are right back towards that Quarry, and this is a pretty interesting shift, actually. It keeps a lot of those teams already in.
Yes, so it's a perfect zone for so many of these squads. Even Vampire, they're going to be able to move or just inch their way in little by little. Besiktas Black are still out of this one, though. They got to get moving here. Not to mention Tianba, they've been in the blue zone for majority of this game. Now they're going to start making their way in, and it looks like they're going to have to get through Mad Bulls first.
Yeah, potentially a little bit of an obstacle, that wide swing from Mad Bulls. But if they can find Tulika on his own,
it's a tough shot.
They need to get that spray to be able to really slow the Mad Bulls down, but it was just a scout. They will come across each other. They'll know that there's now a team on their border on the west side of their approach towards the circle as they move down south, which means that they're going to be more wary of that. It is still going to be a very tricky approach because you've got Alliance and Ula X IHC, over on that eastern side. They are right now sandwiched up to the edge of the circle, which reduces the power of those compounds.
Yeah, Tianba's in trouble here. I don't think they should have made those shots at all. You don't want to be bringing any attention to you. Mad Bulls are going to be staring in that direction. Tianba's going to have to make a little bit of a blind rotation, and there are so many squads waiting for you. You got teams like Alliance right there. So if you're Tianba, right now you're just kind of waiting. You're waiting to see if a fight's going to go off, and then hopefully come in third party that and make your way into the zone. So Tianba have to be very, very quiet here and catch that timing perfectly. Meanwhile, Vampire Esports, getting pressured from Besiktas Black. That's Tony K knocked. That's just only 2 remaining players left up for Vampire.
That is unfortunate. Tony K, a powerhouse in the roster as well. Besiktas Black have been making life difficult, and it will continue to be even tougher. Newsy goes down to a nade, and it's just Stoned now. Newly minted, or well, at the start of this year, freshly minted IGL to try and hold them together. There's a Molotov sent back their way, but Besiktas seem unstoppable in this roll-up. Newsy flushed away. That goes to TJB. They'll be able to pick that one up. Tony K's point, though, does go to Besiktas Black. Stone burning now in the Molotov, forced off the rock, forced back, needs to get some healing done, anything that he can. Using the shack for cover, Toshpik moves on up, goes for the ground shots, hasn't even got that heal through. He goes for the challenge, falling back, and again, relying on TJB to slow Besiktas down, and he does just that. Longs with the shot to Toshpik, and that slows it down indeed.
Stone surviving for just a little bit longer here, but Besiktas Black is on the hunt. They know just how scary Vampire Esports can be. If you can take them out early, that is what you want to do, especially considering that Besiktas Black did play yesterday. So you want to stop some of these teams.
Tianba out on the eastern side have rolled up to Alola X IHC, and it's not gone too well. 2 knocks have already gone through. They haven't found anything in response. These flushes are starting to come through. So Tianba with some good third parties to start off with, but it's not going to go too much further. They do get a little bit of an answer. They're looking for the sprays, and XC might be able to get a little bit more profit on this match. They've got 7 limbs already. If they can take more out of Alola X IHC, then they can start to say that this has been a very successful game for them. But even more importantly is another team on the east starts to get lower and lower and lower. It looked like they were going for a full hold, but now it's just down to Zhou.
Oh boy, and you talked about that average a little bit earlier. Tianba have already passed it with 7 eliminations, so a great start for them. Let's just see how much further they can go. Now TJB, they have the main compound in this zone. They are dead center. Let's just see how many points they're going to be able to end up with at the end of this game.
I'm also looking at Alliance, right? They've had a pretty calm start, but now they need to start to frag out. There are only 3 players, though, on this northeastern side. It's been pretty brutal for the majority of our rosters. Only 3 teams with 4 players alive. TJB is one of them. 4MV out on that north side have a lot to fight through, so we'll be tracking them pretty hard right now. And you can see we're on board with Doc himself, with That magic arm of his. Those nades seem to always find their mark. Another Molotov, and I don't think the Mad Bulls are going to be able to weather this one, but there's an off-angle shot coming through from DXavier.
DXavier did great yesterday. They're looking to continue that here. That's his talent out of there. Only 10 teams remaining. And folks, if you go out right now, that is 0 placement points. The pressure is starting to rise. Mad Bulls putting some shots from the blue zone. Their final remaining player, is he going to be able to get the knock?
Ooh,
so close.
And he goes down to an off angle there as well. 4MV taken off the map, as does the player out to the north for Mad Bulls. Alliance remaining with 3, DXavier with 3, Team Liquid with 4 on this northern side. It is going to be a bloodbath, but importantly, TJB have lost a player as well in the middle.
Oh boy, and now the zone centers up again on TJB. So TJB did lose one. They have 7 eliminations so far, so a great game for them, but all eyes are on their spot. Let's see if they can hold it down. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, the champions here from PMSL Americas, Ayala, starting to throw out some of those Molotovs. You know that they have been waiting to catch up to Alpha 7. They're Brazilian brothers, and they take out DXavier.
I feel like this is Team Liquid's game to lose now, with TJB sort of on the ropes, not being able to hold all the angles they'd like. Fragments of teams spread across the south here. It's Team Liquid who can carry this momentum forwards. They just need to keep everyone alive, play for one another, and get rid of Alliance. That's their major barrier right now.
Let's see if they can do it. They see if they can do it, because you have TJB from those compounds just staring at this area, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to shoot at anything that moves. Just play keep away at this point. Meanwhile, you got Besiktas coming on from down the hill, gonna start climbing their way up little by little. That compound is very susceptible to pushes here. So TJB, even though they do have the dominant position, I'm gonna give the edge to these teams playing the hills, to be honest.
Ooh, Team Liquid actually shrinking down from their position and moving along the west.
That is smart.
Using that terrain, sweep through. Stoned first to face. He's going to have to reposition, but it's not going to work out. Besiktas able to finally put the nail in the coffin. And that gives away Besiktas' position further through. Team Liquid sweeping, I think, is one of the best decisions that they could have made. Although, it does get rid of a lot of off-angle threats for TJB's central hold. The question is, what can Team Liquid do with the outer position? Yeah,
Team Liquid's trying to soak up some eliminations here, and that's what I was talking about, is that compound is basically in a bowl. So all these surrounding areas, and you can even see Alliance so close, but has plenty of coverage. Let's see if he's going to be able to get some shots onto Team Liquid. Honestly, Team Liquid's looking very, very strong. Even though they only have 2 eliminations so far, I think they're going to get a whole bunch more.
See if they're able to keep this one going. Tiamba, remember, they had a great start to the match with the third-party rotate. And they're still alive as well with their solo representative. Leon up close now against Xiol from Alulax IHC. Only 2 elims for them. And a low HP close to him. There's only 3 players here. 1v3s are doable. The heal doesn't come through. And their SK12 is doing a lot of work, but it's not going to be enough to do the heavy lifting for them. It was going to be a little bit of an outside chance there, but they go down. 2 eliminations on the match in 6th place. Oh, that was so close. If he was able to get that shot, who knows what could have happened, but Alliance shut that down, and they shut it down well. 8 eliminations so far. They are doing great here at this one, and now we're down to our final 4 teams here for match number 1 on day 2. And the shift finally goes away from TJB. They're on the outside. Oh, Shan's so close. Solo player right on the money. That's 1. Takes him out. First player down, 1v2 now as Leon's. Are they looking for him? Do they know he's on the tree? It seems like they do. They just need to isolate these angles. The cook is there. Cluck not going to be able to take the peek. He's forced out. He's forced wide, but no damage. There is a response. The knock goes through the back lines. He finds 1, and it's Shan with a 1 versus 3 for Tiamba. They do not stop. It's 11 eliminations, and the solo warrior himself here to play. A knock over towards Team Liquid. Might be able to find the knock. The flush is there. Cardozan seals the deal as TJB tried to stretch out, but it's not out of the question for Shan to make it happen again. Are you kidding me? Shan's got those nades locked and loaded, and TJB is feeling the punishment. Chief gets naded down to about 20% HP, and it's really up to Ayala to finish off Tiamba here as fast as he possibly can. Shan, all by his lonesome. Can he make something happen? He cannot. It's going to be Team Liquid to win. Right off the bat, they come in from Group Yellow, and I'm sorry, Group Green, and shut things down. But what a way to carry on for Tian.